Dubaieye is the co-founder of a new startup called Wing.Studio. It's on a mission to help younger people enter the workforce, get some relevant experience on their resume, and maybe answer some questions about what it is they want to do. Sana, thank you for being with us. What gave you this idea? What do you think was missing, I guess, from the offering for that age group?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here.
You're so welcome.
Well, if we think about it, when we think about young adults who are starting their careers, they are always requested to have experience. But how do you
get it?
How do you get experience if you don't work? When we talked to employers, basically what they are referring to, it's not the experience, but reducing the risk of hiring someone who has the potential to do the job. Mm-hmm. So how can we demonstrate that this person has a potential? And with a CV, you cannot see this. You don't have evidence, you don't have credibility, and you cannot really see even the small things that a youngster is doing. We might underestimate the value of extracurricular activities, hobbies, and we wanted to highlight the skills that the young people are learning through their hobbies, volunteering experiences, activities, so that they can start their career.
So how do you do it? What does it look like, and how does it play out in practice, Sana?
So it's an app or a platform also on the web where young people can go and build their profile based on their activities. Let's say the way you do it on social media. Every day you achieve something, you do something, or if you have a hobby, let's say gaming. We always think about gaming as, oh, it's a waste of time. But if you look to it, it develops a lot of skills. It develops problem solving, leadership, strategy, decision taking. Mm-hmm. So if we have our young adults who are having hobbies, we help them reflect on what they learned out of this.
That must be a big confidence boost for them as well, to go, actually, you know, my parents might think I'm wasting time, but actually these are the attributes I'm bringing to it. It's funny you should mention about positives of gaming. There was a headline just earlier this week saying doctor surgeons who played video games for more than 3 hours a week made 37% fewer errors on the operating table.
Oh, wow.
So we're thinking about kind of motor skills, decision making. I don't know. I think that's an interesting example that you chose there. So hobbies, but also, I guess, volunteering. Are there ways of kind of highlighting things like that?
Definitely, volunteering is a very important part of building the personality, the attributes, and the skills for any young person or any candidate, because it develops also the consciousness about what's happening in the world, trying to make an impact. So that's important. But also, we do this in addition to the academic also preparation, degrees. If they have also work experience, they can highlight it there, because we look to a profile as a more complete aspect of who you are, not only what you worked and what you studied. It's also your other transferable skills. And there is a very big shift towards hiring based on transferable skills, because this is the potential, and this is what stays with the person from one job to another, from one industry to another.
And that's a different way of working now than, when I went to university, which was, my friend Beth's going to go to university to be a lawyer, and now she's a lawyer, and she'll probably be a lawyer until she retires. Whereas now that transferable skills, be it, creativity or coding, leadership, being able to work across that kind of a gig economy, which is still something a lot of people kind of trying to get their heads around, but it's trying to find companies that align with values, with a person. And how then does it work with connecting job seekers with universities or workplaces? How receptive are they to this platform?
We have an amazing positive traction from the different stakeholders in the ecosystem, and what we call ecosystem is all the education institutions, be it universities or high schools, colleges, etc., but also vocational or training, and all organizations, NGOs, youth organizations, and they're loving it because they say we really want to improve the employability of our students. Mm-hmm. And how do we improve this employability and close the gap between what the employment industry is looking for versus the students who we train and we are getting out there in the market. So transferable skills are a big topic now. And as you said, the gig economy is really growing, and we see a lot of young people, even if they go for a corporate job, they still want to do some content creation or some freelancing. And that's great. I mean, I'm really happy to see this happening in this new era with the new generation.
It is a new era, and I'm curious, looking at some of the young people you're connecting with, what are some of the jobs or industries that they're keen to explore, Sarah? And where do you think the trends are, I guess?
That's a very interesting question. Well, we see, let's take UAE, like it's really advanced, and we see a lot of conferences about the metaverse and about what's happening in the tech industry, the biotech, etc. I think there is a trend towards these new careers, and we will see jobs that we never heard about in the metaverse.
100% jobs that are probably going to make my head fall off. That's a job? Where in the metaverse are you doing this? But that's really exciting that you are able to connect them. And I know you've got the Youth Advisory Board as well, where you're speaking to people in exactly this age group, 16 to 25. What are some of the concerns they have about being in the workforce or being young people in the world right now? What are you hearing?
Yeah, so from our Youth Advisory Council, we get all the insights to understand their challenges, and we also try to understand what they are looking for to improve the situation. So the first topic is finding a job without experience. A lot of companies, we even have some memes about having 30 years of experience while you are still 22, just graduated, etc. That's one big challenge. Another challenge is for them is how do you identify which career to take? How do you identify the skills that you need for that specific career? For them, it's still quite abstract. As much as they can understand the practical skills, like if I'm a marketeer or I'm a coder, or it's clear. But transferable skills are still a bit blurry in their mind. How can I demonstrate and prove that I'm a team worker, or I'm good with adaptability, or that I'm a leader? These are very abstract concepts. And the fact that we are linking them to their hobbies or their activities, this is really helping them to understand and making them more concrete. And now we are working on the AI part, where the AI will be also suggesting the skills based on the post that they are doing. So if they're posting about a beach cleanup, let's say, the AI will be able to tell them the skills like leadership or sustainability, or all the skills that they would have developed through this activity.
Wow. It's a whole new world. It takes me back to me, working on my very first CV in Word, New Times Roman 14, and a nice cover letter. It sounds like things are, changing at a great pace, and as they should for a whole new generation. For parents or indeed young people who are looking to find out more, what's the best way of getting in touch with you and checking out that platform?
So it's www.Wing.Studio. That's it, without a .com. It's Wing.Studio. And the app is available for iOS and Android.
Thank you so much for your time, Sana. Really interesting to hear a little bit more. If you do want details of the website, I'd be happy to connect you. All the very best. Keep us posted.
Thank you.
And I think it's really interesting to think about a generation who are graduating out of the pandemic to some obstacles, but I think some amazing opportunities as well. Really do appreciate your time.